Hi, this is Taryn LaRock. I'm here with KNEKT.live, and we are live in Los Angeles and Pacific Palisades for the I Stand With My Pack Unity For Rhinos event. And we have a lot of amazing people here tonight, from Paul Hilton, who's flown in from Indonesia, who many of you know from racing Extinction. He is known for single-handedly bringing awareness to the looser ecosystem crisis where there are a lot of rhinos. We have Donovan Smith, who has a wildlife sanctuary in southern Florida, who recently was burnt over the good portion of his body trying to save rhino and other wildlife from his sanctuary. And we also have Mark Ching of Animal Hope and Wellness. So we have a lot of amazing people that are going to be speaking here this evening, award recipients, and we have a lot of incredible guests. So we're happy to have everyone watching, and now we're just waiting for some people to arrive so we can introduce you to some of the people that are here. And so it's going to be a really exciting evening. Just so everyone knows, the event that we are here for this evening, Unity for Rhinos, is going to be helping VetPaw. For those of you who aren't familiar with the organization, it is post 9/11 veterans. So these guys are incredible. They go down to South Africa. They train with their special forces knowledge, people, rangers, how to protect African wildlife. There's a major crisis going on in Africa. 70% of rhinos, wild rhinos on the planet, are in South Africa, so that's mainly where their work is concentrated. So we have VetPaw here this evening. We're raising much needed funds for them, and so we also have a live auction that you can find out about with incredible art pieces from everyone from Josefet Murata, wildlife photographer and environmentalist Chantal Melsner. We have a lot of incredible artists represented here this evening. Donald Robertson. So people that have donated their beautiful work to help VetPaw. This is an incredibly important cause. It's a crisis, and there are 8 to 9 rhinos killed every day in the wild, and their being killed involves everything from wild rhinos to being killed. Most recently, outside of Paris in a zoo, poachers broke in and killed a rhinoceros that was in his enclosure. So babies are being killed that are in orphanages, and the manner in which they're killed is incredibly brutal and violent. So this is something that we really need to draw awareness to and to stop. So again, this is Taryn LaRock. We're here with KNEKT.live, and we are streaming live. If you're in the Los Angeles area, come over. We have fantastic people here this evening. We're going to also be on the I Stand With My Pack page streaming live, so you'll have the opportunity, if you're not local or you're not attending the event, to see the incredible lineup and the incredible program we have. And again, we have everyone from Paul Hilton, who came in especially for this event, National Geographic wildlife photographer, who many of you know for racing Extinction. He's here this evening. Again, Mark Ching. And then also we have Donovan Smith, who is an amazing person who stands for rhino protection. So, and again, we're working with VetPaw. I Stand With My Pack's partner organization. We're trying to raise a lot of funds and awareness for them this evening. Their work is incredible. They are post 9/11 American veterans who self-deploy, and they go down to Africa, and they are going down and teaching rangers and training people in Africa how to protect these animals, and that is desperately needed. So we have a lot of items we're going to be raising money for this evening for VetPaw, and the rhinos really need our help. So again, this is going to be a really exciting evening, and we have Mark Ching here, who is with Animal Hope and Wellness. Hello, Mark. Thank you for joining us this evening. So Mark is going to be one of our Animal Icon recipients. And Mark, can you tell us a bit about what Animal Hope and Wellness is up to?
We're kind of like a local group that does cruelty cases, but I think we're most known for the dog meat trade. Okay. And so, yeah.
Okay. And so I know that recently we did a panel with you all, and you said that you were speaking with the government of Yulin and progressing with a microchipping program. Is that correct?
Correct. I actually just seen them on the 29th of May, but I went for a different reason because there was an announcement that Yulin had ended, and I went to talk about that, and they said it's not true. Okay. So, yeah.
So the rumors that were going around that Yulin stopped was false?
Correct, yes.
Okay. Well, that's horrible to hear, but thank you for updating on this. Again, Mark with Animal Hope and Wellness, Mark Ching here. He is one of our Animal Icon Award recipients. We're very proud to have him here this evening. And although Mark doesn't work directly with his organization with rhinos, he helps animals all over the world. So, Mark, can you give us any insight into what you feel is going on with rhinos and how your feelings about what's going on with the poaching crisis?
I think it's terrible. You know what's interesting is like it all links together. You know, in Asia they do the dogs out there where they torture them, and they're also responsible for the rhinos and the horns. And you know, I guess I can criticize them because I'm Asian, but they're a pretty cruel race. Although a lot of them are just like us, that they're great people. But in Asia they have so much mythology beliefs, and so that's where everything rests in or lies in. And hopefully in time that can be corrected.
So that's really interesting, the drawing between the false medicinal properties with the rhino horns, which is essentially just keratin, which is like our fingernails, right? And then what is it about the dog meat trade? They say tenderizing the meat is through violence. Is that correct?
Well, they think if you torture the dog first, that the adrenaline release makes the meat more tender, or it gives it medicinal properties. And so different but similar.
That's horrible. Well, thank you so much for being here with us this evening, Mark. And again, this is Mark Ching with Animal Hope and Wellness. We're so proud to have him here this evening as one of I Stand With My Pack's Animal Icon recipients. Thank you so much, Mark. We appreciate it. Thank you. So that was one of I Stand With My Pack's Animal Icon Award recipients, Mark Ching. We're all very thrilled to have him here this evening. He's with Animal Hope and Wellness and drew a very interesting analogy between what's going on in Asian countries with the rhino horn trade and also with what's happening with dog and cat meat. And again, for those of you who don't know, the rhino and the elephant tusk trade, so the horn trade is based in Asian mythology that the horns have medicinal properties. Obviously, with the elephant tusks, there's decorous value where they're carved into trinkets. But there are, I think, on average, about 8 to 10 of these animals killed a day for both. And if we don't stop now, and if we don't move forward with some real progressive action, which we are here supporting VetPaw for because they're on the ground really making a difference protecting these animals, there are sources that say that elephants and rhinos are going to be extinct within a decade. So this is something that really needs our immediate attention, because if this isn't something that is stopped now, and if we don't help the organizations that are on the ground, such as VetPaw, we may not be able to have another event where we are able to help these animals. They may be gone, which is completely unfortunate. And we have another special guest here. Hi.
I'm Armighty May. I'm a veterinarian and a vegan.
Excellent, excellent. Are you from the Los Angeles area?
Yes, I've been in Los Angeles most of my life, and I've been doing house calls for dogs and cats for the last 10 years or so. I have a nonprofit to help animals as well. That's the Veterinary Association for the Protection of Animals, but I care deeply about helping rhinos and elephants from becoming extinct, too.
Beautiful. So can you tell us a bit about what you feel is going on with the rhino horn trade right now and what drew you to this event to support VetPaw?
It's something that's been concerning to me for quite some time, with the poaching that's going on and the killing of innocent animals just for their horns and ivory in the case of elephants. It's very heartbreaking that this is happening, and I just want to raise awareness about this so that people speak to their legislators, write letters to Congress, and make sure that laws are passed to enforce the ban on ivory, which of course there were loopholes previously that had to be closed, and with certain things the way they are now, it's questionable how that's going to be upheld in the future. But I think we need to make our voices heard and make sure that we know we're doing what we can to protect these animals.
Absolutely, and that's excellent what you brought up, that there are legal loopholes. We're still in many states within the United States. Ivory is still legal for sale, and so across the board, this is something that needs to be stopped. So thank you so much for being here with us this evening and supporting rhinos, and we look forward to hearing more about your organization. Thank you.
Thank you. It's great to be here to support this, and I've known the founder of I Stand With My Pack since before she went vegan. She was a client of mine, and
wow.
she was influenced by me in that way. So I'm happy that Alex Schiffer, she became vegan and started this organization. That's really awesome.
That's amazing. So you had an influence in her life in becoming a vegan and becoming conscious about animal rights, and that's fantastic. And I think that's important that we all influence each other and that we're able to make a positive influence on the lives of others, and know that what we do really makes a difference and affects the lives of other people and animals and the earth in general.
Absolutely. Yeah, we all have to do our part and make our voices heard.
Indeed. Well, thank you so much for being here with us this evening. And so we look forward to hearing more about your organization. We'll see you inside. Thank you very much. So that was another guest that we have here this evening, local veterinarian. And she was also influential in our founder, Alexander Schiffer of I Stand With My Pack, becoming a vegan. So that's fantastic. And obviously another person that's quite passionate about wildlife and the earth in general. So again, for those of you who are just joining, my name is Taryn LaRock, and we're here in Pacific Palisades. I'm with KNEKT Live, and we are streaming live on Facebook. And you can rewatch this video on KNEKT's Facebook page. And we are here for I Stand With My Pack and Vet Paws evening to raise money for the protection of rhinos. Again, this is something that's very imperative and really timely and needs to be funded now. Vet Paws on the ground doing the work to protect these animals. Adult animals, babies are in danger with orphanages, so it's really important work. Hi there.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
So what can I answer for you?
So what is your name and how are you involved in all of this?
Sure, yeah. So my name's Chris Liebenberg. I'm one of the co-founders of Rhino Ride.
Excellent.
Yeah, it started about 18 months ago, almost 2 years ago now. We wanted to launch a campaign where we could first of all bring a lot of awareness about the plight of rhinos in Africa, not just the rhinos themselves, but also the people that are tasked with looking after them.
Right.
And so we were thinking of a way that we could easily engage with people without too much effort, and figured dragging a rhino for 2,000 miles from the Canadian border to the Mexican border,
Wow.
west coast of the United States, would be a good way to do that. And so from that, Rhino Ride was born. I'm not the cyclist. I am the co-founder and the sponsor.
Great.
Matt Meyer, who you'll probably meet in a bit, he's the guy who's actually been tasked with pulling the 350-pound rhino called Lunar. We've become quite attached to her, but yeah. So we have a fundraising component to it as well. We've fortunately raised about $100,000 so far. We're actually just shy of that. 2 more fundraisers left in San Diego. One on the 17th, one on the 24th, and then yeah, then we're kind of gonna be done.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So then the cyclist, he has ridden about 2,000 miles. Is that correct so far?
He's done about 1,840 miles to date, and he's done about 55 days now. Another week and a half to go, and that'll get him to 2,000 miles and basically 9 weeks of travel. Yeah.
That's impressive. And I know he is originally South African, and he leads safaris. Is this correct?
Correct, yeah. So Matt's from South Africa. I'm from Namibia. We're both ex-safari guides. Matt still guides as a day job when he's not doing this. And then I have a safari company. I book safaris.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So can you tell everyone watching a bit about what really prompted you to do this? And it seems like something that is so noticeable, and I know a lot of people have posted about it on social media, and it's been a very visible thing. But why is it so important that people pay attention to rhinos now?
Yeah, you know, I think what's happened in Africa is we've kind of reached critical mass right now. We now are losing more rhinos every year than are being born again. So we're losing about a rhino every 8 hours. So at the current rate, we've got anywhere from 10 to 15 years left of rhinos if the current trends continue. So it's crisis for us. But I guess more importantly than that, we're from Africa. We grew up with these animals. These problems are very real for us. It's a bizarre situation in Africa that we have men and women on the ground risking their lives, poorly equipped, risking their lives on a daily basis to protect an animal that is being killed for a totally unnecessary reason. Rhino horn itself has no medicinal qualities. It's the exact same thing as your nails. It's keratin. And so these historical beliefs that rhino horn can do something, it's a total disbelief. And the problem in Africa is very real for us. And that's what we were trying to do with the Rhino Ride. We wanted to bring this into people's living rooms, onto their Facebook feeds, and not just through Rhino Ride. We all need to do this. We all need to know more about what's going on with rhinos, because the problem is real and we can't be disconnected from it. Not in the United States, not in China, not in Namibia. This is a global problem. Rhinos are also a keystone species. They're highly recognizable. For us, we kind of feel, and personally I can say this, I feel like if we can't save rhinos, this amazing creature that is prehistoric looking and so iconic, if we can't save rhinos, then I don't know that we have much hope for anything.
Right.
We've got very few left, and we all understand the crisis. We can communicate with each other. We have media today. And if we can't save rhinos, I really am concerned about where we're heading with all endangered species across the globe. Yeah.
Okay. And as for those who are watching who don't know what a keystone species is, what would be the effect? I mean, I agree completely with you that if we let these animals be killed off, basically for mythology and trinkets,
Yeah.
then that's horrible within itself. But what is the ecological impact for Africa if that were to happen?
Yeah, traditionally when we talk about a keystone species, we're talking purely about ecology. The reality is that the ecology of a rhino in the wilderness of Africa is not super important. Ecosystems will survive without rhinos. Of course, every single animal plays a role. Black rhinos in particular, they're brush feeders, so they help keep the brush in check. But there's other brush feeders. So they're actually one of the animals that, while not being critical to the environment, are critical in other ways. And they're critical, for example, for tourism. They're what we call the big five. They're one of the big five animals. They're one of the animals that when people go to Africa to go and travel and see African wildlife, these are ones that they ask for. Every time they're no longer available in an area, that area loses its tourism potential and therefore loses its dollar value. And that's what we're doing in Africa. Our conservation has largely become an economic battle. It's become about conservation and tourism that goes hand in hand with that now so often in Africa. It's about these two coming together to deliver an economic solution that is stronger than agriculture and stronger than mining. Those are our two biggest battles that we face in terms of habitat protection, is keeping agriculture and keeping mining out of those critical areas.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting. So what would you say is next for you all, since the ride is going to end in San Diego? Is that correct? And people can watch this on your social media feeds, by the way, and find out more about it. So what is next after this is completed?
So the Rhino Ride, the ride itself ends in about a week and a half. The fundraising will continue for a while after that. We do have a fundraising goal of $250,000, and we're going to work towards getting there. So we'll still be doing fundraising for Rhino Ride up until around the end of October, at which point that will stop. My company, the way that we operate is that we allocate 1% of our gross revenue towards social work.
Wonderful.
And this year, for example, that's how we're paying for the Rhino Ride. It's important for people to understand that every single dollar that they donate goes to Africa, because my company pays for all the expenses of the Rhino Ride. And so next year we'll be having new fundraising components and initiatives. And so for us, lots of exciting things happening. Rhino Ride could potentially go to another part of the world, which would be fantastic. Maybe we can get it even to the to the buyer market. That would be pretty epic. But there's also other species that need our help. The one thing that's become abundantly clear this year with Rhino Ride is a degree of frustration from those people that work hard at conserving less charismatic species, like vultures, for example. And so I'd like to, in the future, I'd like to focus a little bit more on that, trying to talk about species that are not immediately recognizable, for example, like the rhinos.
Sure, sure. And as you mentioned, they're very iconic, but still, I think the fact that you're bringing awareness to them, because rhinos are an animal that many people, especially in the United States, have never seen, especially in the wild. And it's so imperative that we protect him. So we thank you so much for the work that you're doing. And again, everyone can follow Rhino Ride on social media. And we have an auction item, I was informed too, that is being auctioned off tonight through you all. Is that correct? Or you have a safari on?
Yeah, so there's on the rhinoride.org website, there is a safari. It's actually a pretty awesome opportunity. It's a safari for 2 people, worth over $20,000, and the raffle tickets are $250 a piece, but we're only taking 500 entries. So you've got a 1 in 500 chance, pretty good odds, of winning an awesome African safari to 3 countries in Africa. Go and see these guys and all their brethren, and it's people can check it out online. It's a really excellent safari.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, that would be an incredible experience. It sounds like an epic opportunity to see rhinos in their natural habitat, and these guys are clearly the ones to do it with. So check out Rhino Ride, and thank you so much for being here with us this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we have another one of our Animal Icon Award recipients here this evening. This is Donovan Smith, and he's come from Tampa, Florida, Naples. Great. And you have a wildlife rescue there, is that correct?
Yes, it's called Inyala Wildlife Preserve, and it's in Naples, Florida. And we, for all my life, I dedicated my life to obtaining animals from unfortunate circumstances, and we have about 45 animals altogether there. And then we host high-end events as a way to fund the care of our animals and the maintenance. It costs about $1.2 million a year to take care of our animals properly.
Wow.
So,
that's amazing. And you have, I know you mentioned that you have giraffes, but you have a rhino that you recently were in the media for saving. Can you tell everyone a bit about that? Because that's a remarkable story.
Absolutely. Well, a fire came through. It was about 7,000 acres. Wow. And it all converged on one piece of property, which was my 42 acres. And when it hit us, we had been evacuating animals in preparation of the fire, but when it hit us, it supercharged and came through the tops of the trees. So it was literally like lighting a barbecue grill with me underneath it, and it actually jumped the fire department and everything. So what happened is we went from no fire to everything on fire in the blink of an eye. And so I got that initial flash, and I jumped to the ground. It burned my face and my ears and my nose and my throat. And then you're kind of like a shock and awe. You look around, and everything you know is on fire. And my rhino was on the property, and a black leopard, and a cougar, and a 400-pound tortoise. Wow. So I jumped on a 4-wheeler to race to the fire department to get the special equipment that I needed, which was a brush truck. And through the fire, the radiant burns. I burned 20% of my body, 2nd degree. I made it another 40 minutes with the fire department because we had to make a trail through the fire to get to my rhino. And about 40 minutes later, I was put on a med flight and flown out of there. But we saved all the animals with the help of the fire department, and they're just perfectly fine. And I spent almost 4 weeks in a burn center, and which was just this happened April 21st. So I'm a walking miracle because I'm healing faster than anything they've ever saw before.
That's amazing, and so are all the animals you saved. That is absolutely incredible, and we are so happy to have you here again. And please check out Donovan's sanctuary. What is he, 5,000-pound rhino?
6,000-pound white rhino named Walter. Okay. And if you go on YouTube and look up Walter the white rhino, you'll see a video of him sitting on cue and doing some things you wouldn't expect a rhino to do. He's an amazing character. He's got so much personality, and I literally was willing to die for him. I love him that much. So I put my life on the line, and I would do it again tomorrow.
Well, thank you so much for standing up for rhinos and for being here with us this evening, and we're excited to have you. And make sure to check out Donovan's Sanctuary online, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you inside. Yes. What an honor. Thank you. So, again, that's Donovan Smith, and he is one of the award recipients here for the I Stand With My Pack Animal Icon Award. So we're so pleased to have him. Obviously, he's a real animal advocate, and he saved an almost 6,000-pound rhino, so that's not something that is done every day. Hi. Welcome.
Katie Cleary from World Animal News.
Excellent. Welcome, Katie. We're happy to have you here this evening, and we know you're a huge animal advocate. And can you tell us specifically what attracted you to helping rhinos?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we've got almost about 5 years left until rhinos possibly may be extinct in the wild. So it's really, a labor of love for me and my organization. I've got Peace for Animals, and I founded it based on saving endangered species in the wild. Tigers, lions, elephants, rhinos. And when I found out the plight of rhinos, I kind of put that at the forefront of our mission because, honestly, what's a world if we can't save rhinos and elephants for future generations? So, the poaching has gotten so bad to where, there's at least 7 rhinos, if not more, killed every single day, and there's not enough being born. So, unfortunately, it just it's the supply and demand of Asia. It's the black market trade of endangered species. It's their parts. It's something that needs to end before our children won't be able to see them in the wild. It's really unfortunate. So that's Peace for Animals and my foundation and World Animal News. I founded kind of as a middle ground for all the organizations to come together, and we highlight all their great work. So
great. Well, that's incredible. And what do you foresee is going to be something that can really help rhinos? I know that we're here this evening funding VetPaw's on the ground work that they do, and they train rangers on the ground to actually go in and protect these animals at wildlife parks, sanctuaries, orphanages where infant animals live. So what do you foresee would be a really strong way for people that are watching to get involved in this, other than supporting your organization or VetPaw? What do you see is good for them to do?
Honestly, anyone that's doing anti-poaching in Africa, and there's tons of organizations, International Anti-Poaching Foundation, founded by Damien Mander, VetPaw, I Stand With Your Pack is a big supporter. Obviously we're big supporters as well. There's just a lot of great people that need funding, and I think that that's key. Also going to visit Africa and seeing the great work that they're doing and documenting it and actually posting it on social media. The more we spread awareness, the more we can make change. So I think that social media is a great key. We've definitely used it for the good, and I applaud people that use it for the greater good, because I don't want to see a planet where these animals aren't here. And this is the first time in history that this will ever happen, unfortunately. In the next 5 years, I give it 5 years. People say 10. I don't think we have that much time. So I'm optimistic, but we all have to band together. Now's the time. So.
Okay, that's excellent. Thank you for saying that. And it is reached crisis point. So thank you so much, Katie, for being here with us this evening. We're excited to have you, and we're excited to learn more about the work that you do. I know we all follow you on social media, so thank you so much for being here. You bet. Thanks, Katie. So, again, that was Katie Cleary with World Animal News, and we're really pleased to have her here this evening. She's a great resource if anyone wants to find out what is going on with animal rights or planetary issues, and you can find her on social media. So she's a wonderful guest that we have here this evening that we're very pleased to have. And again, this is Taryn LaRock with KNEKT.live, and you can rewatch this video or send it to your friends. It's going to be on our Facebook page. That's KNEKT. You can also find it on the I Stand With My Pack social media outlets. You can find that on Facebook. Also a link in I Stand With My Pack's website. So again, we're here in Pacific Palisades, Los Angeles, California. It's beautiful. We're right near the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful night to support incredible individuals and organizations that are working, such as I Stand With My Pack and VetPaw, to end the brutal murder of rhinos and other wildlife in Africa. Hi there. So we have here
Matt Meyer.
Okay, great. And you are our writer for the Rhino, correct? Well, thank you so much for being here with us this evening. You've traveled almost 2,000 miles, is that correct? Just under that?
1,840 miles to today, or 160 miles to go.
Okay. Yeah. That's an incredible feat in itself. So what really got you excited to support rhinos and draw awareness to what's going on with them in Africa?
Well, I'm a safari guide from South Africa, and so it's a profession, part of my life, to be around rhinos, and I've seen it firsthand what's happened to them. And so about 2 years ago, Chris, who you were talking to a little bit earlier, we came up with this idea to walk a rhino across America. And when that became apparent that it wasn't going to be allowed, I decided to put it behind a bike. Brilliant. And so what better show people what's happening with rhinos than to show them a real rhino.
Right, and I know that we've mentioned this before, but most people in all over the world haven't seen a real rhino. So this is an actual life-size rhino. This is what an adult rhino would look like, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. And when you say what's going on with the rhinos there, most people don't know that there are, what is it, about 10 rhinos killed daily? Is that a correct fact?
It's about 3 or 4 rhinos a day at like full moon, like it was last night. You're looking at about 10 or 12. It just depends on the time of the month. But it's you're looking at on average 3 or 4 rhinos a day. So with those current rates and the population we have left in Africa, we're looking at about a decade left in the wild.
And that's terrifying that they're killed for their horns, which are no different than my fingernails. There's zero medicinal properties. There's zero inherent value. It's just based on mythology. But is it true that these rhino horns are worth as much as cocaine or similar to gold?
So, I mean, it's the second most valuable substance on Earth. You're looking at number 2, second to weapons-grade plutonium. You're looking at $80,000 a kilogram. So, what's that, $40,000 a pound?
That's terrifying. So, yeah, for a giant fingernail. And what is going to happen? What happens to these animals when they're killed? Because we've all seen the pictures where, you know, it's gruesome, but I know that there are orphans left. And it's just a brutal, horrible process. Is that true for people that aren't aware of what's going on?
Yes. So, I mean, like a lot of these poachers are tribal, living in the middle of nowhere, homemade firearms. They shoot the animal so that it's just maimed, so that it stops moving. And then it can be still alive, and they take 3/4 of the front of its face off, and they walk around and wander around for a day or two. Sometimes they just keel over there. But then there are, like you said, baby orphans that are left behind, and there are organizations one of the organizations that Rhino Ride is supporting, bring in orphaned rhinos, rehabilitate them, and then release them into the wild.
Great. So for people watching who aren't familiar with how they can support, we can see your website, your social media. I know this has been posted everywhere. I recently saw that Orlando Bloom reposted a picture of you guys going down PCH. Was it in Malibu? So I know there's been a lot of media surrounding this, but how can people find out more how to support? You have a safari raffle going, is that correct?
Yes, we do. We've got a safari that we've put up for raffle, 1 in 500 chance to win a safari to Africa.
Wow.
It's you go see rhinos in the wild, you go to the middle of the Okavango Delta, and you go to Cape Town. And that's all the information is on the website on rhinoride.org.
Okay, rhinoride.org. Everyone check this out. This is an amazing opportunity to help rhinos. And thank you so much for being here with us this evening and for standing up for rhinos. We really appreciate it. Thank you. So, again, check out rhinoride.org. If you're in the Southern California area, you may see these guys riding down PCH. Again, Orlando Bloom. We saw the other day, posted a picture, and it's pretty amazing what these guys are doing. And go on their website and sign up for a chance to go on that incredible safari. Again, this is Taryn LaRock, and I'm here with KNEKT Live, and we are streaming live from I Stand With My Pack and Vet Paws event. We're here in Los Angeles, California, and we are raising much needed funds for the poaching crisis going on with African wildlife, specifically rhinos, that, as we've heard from everyone from Mark Ching to Donovan Smith, has reached a crisis point. There are now more rhinos in captivity than there are in the wild. So this needs to stop. And as Katie Cleary mentioned from World Animal News, it is incredibly optimistic to believe that this may be a 10-year span that we have. They may be extinct in 5, and that is absolutely unacceptable. So we don't want to be 5 years from now not being able to throw a party or speak with someone about how can we help these animals. So again, be able to look at Vet Paws website. There are many orphanages that help these animals in the wild. Check out rhinoride.org. Look at the work that Paul Hilton is doing in Southeast Asia. So those are all incredible people that we have here this evening, and we're going to be streaming live on the I Stand With My Pack website, so you'll be able to see the actual presentations, the award recipients from Paul Hilton, Donovan Smith, who we met, and then also Mark Ching. So we're really happy to have everyone here this evening. It's going to be a fabulous event, and please help us support rhinos before it's too late. Again, these guys are being killed for what is essentially a large fingernail, and it's totally unacceptable, and it's something that needs to stop now. So we're happy to be here this evening. We have incredible guests, and make sure to stand by for more footage. And we are here. I think we're coming to the close of our program here, but we are going to be okay, so we're going to be, again, streaming live on the I Stand With My Pack website for the actual program. And again, for those of you who are just joining, we have some incredible guests. We are going to be awarding people with an Animal Icon Award. We have 3 wonderful recipients who have come in internationally here. And we have another really exciting we have another couple of exciting guests here that we're going to bring in. Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. And this thing's amazing.
I know, life-size rhino here in the Palisades.
They're, what, 1,800 miles now?
Almost to San Diego. So it's incredible work that they're doing. For everyone that doesn't know you, can you tell us a bit about who you are and what your work is?
Sure. So I'm Ryan Tate. I'm the founder of VetPaw, which is Veterans Empowered to Protect African Wildlife. We utilize the skills of post 9/11 veterans who served in Iraq and or Afghanistan to train, assist, and advise counter-poaching rangers in Africa, and that's anywhere in Africa. And yeah, I mean, that's essentially what we do. We're a nonprofit organization. You can visit us at www.vetpaw.org and follow us on social media. And we're thrilled to be here and with I Stand With My Pack. It's an amazing organization, and yeah.
That's great. So these guys are on the ground. Look at their website. They are employing highly skilled veterans from the United States to go in and train rangers on the ground at these much needed. Do you do wildlife conservancies? Do you do game parks, orphanages? What is the scope of your work?
Anywhere that these animals need help, we'll be there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a for-profit private park or a non-profit park. These animals are valuable to us, invaluable to us. So we'll help a rhino or an elephant in need no matter what.
Okay, and have a little insight into what's really going on in the ground?
Sure. So a lot of people don't realize, but the poaching is actually going to support a lot of terrorism activity over there, which is really interesting. Just the other day when the London attack happened, the previous day there was a village taken out by Boko Haram, which pledges allegiance to ISIS, and they support 50% of their operations off of rhino and elephant poaching.
Wow.
So it's a serious problem. There's around 300,000 elephants left. They're being killed faster than they can reproduce, and there's about 25,000 rhinos left. It's insanity. It's just a shame to think that we might lose these species. So.
No, well, not on your watch. We have faith, and we're going to make sure that that doesn't happen together. And thank you so much for the work that you do and for everything you guys do on the ground there to help all these wildlife. And we're happy to have you here this evening. And VetPaw is going to be giving a presentation. So for those who are not here this evening, we'll be able to watch that online. So thank you so much to Ryan Tate of VetPaw. And
we really appreciate it. We can't do it without the support of everyone. It's a real team effort.
And so, for people to find out more about your organization, should they go to your social media? Or?
Social media is great. You can reach us there. We have somebody that's always watching it. Vetpaw.org as well. Info@vetpaw.org is a great way to reach us. Social media is great as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Ryan. All right, we'll see you inside. Thank you. So, again, Ryan Tate with VetPaw, an incredible organization that is going to be speaking here at our event. And a lot of people don't know that terrorist activity is funded by this poaching that's going on. So I know that a lot of people, almost everyone is against terrorism and the violence that is surrounding that, but not many people know the profound connection between wildlife poaching and how that's going to fund illegal activity and violence. So yet another reason to stop it if the violence to these animals and losing beautiful species unnecessarily off this planet weren't enough. So again, check out VetPaw, they're an incredible organization. Hello. Yeah.
It's Gina Hendricks.
We have Gina Hendricks here, and she's a local animal advocate. Gina is here. You're in Venice, correct?
Right, that's good.
That's right. I do remember. So Gina and I used to, Gina has an organization, Models and Mutts, that I used to work with her on. I'm very proud to be an alumni of that. And can you tell us a bit about your work, what you do, and how you were attracted to helping rhinos, Gina?
Sure. I mean, for me, I just love animals, any and all animals. So, you know, for me to come out and support the rhinos is just a natural thing to do. I get a lot of invitations to a lot of things, but this really felt like something that maybe needed a little more light shined on the issue, because, you know, there's a lot that you guys are competing with a lot of animal charities that are happening, and I think the rhinos, it's a really compelling situation what's happening there with the extinction and, you know, and all the poaching. And so I just want to come out and support it. And so what I do with Models and Mutts is, and you know, is I would get models to come out and we raise money for different animal rescue groups. So, I mean, even rhinos could be a potential, you know,
That would be amazing.
one to help, because I like to match models with organizations that need money and need attention. And so it's just a kind of a marriage I do. So
That's a very natural fit, I think, and this is yet another brilliant way to draw attention to the crisis that's going on. Katie Cleary with World Animal News was just up here before you were up here, and she.
one of my models for Models and Mutts.
Oh, really? That's amazing. That's incredible. You and everyone. So she pointed out that it is incredibly, potentially falsely optimistic to believe that within 10 years these animals may be extinct if our behavior doesn't stop. It may be 5 years, and that's what statistics is saying. So for people that don't know what's going on with the rhino crisis, where would you direct them to look, and what would you tell them is information that's going on?
Well, I mean, first of all, what I tell everybody is it's really great to, you know, like a post and this and that,
Right.
but you really have to take more action than that. So whether you see events, you can, you know, you Google it. You say, how can I get involved? You know, local organizations in Los Angeles that help rhinos.
Sure.
Start there. Start locally and see what organizations are near you. If they're having events that you can go support them, buy a ticket. Don't try to get in for free. Buy a ticket and support them. That's how they're making their money. And show up to do whatever you can, because it's really in showing up that makes the difference, you know?
Right.
I mean, online supporting is great, but it's really all about the actual doing. So try to get involved any way you can.
Right.
Any way you can.
No, that's an incredible point. I think we're all guilty of being armchair activists and saying, oh, you know, yeah, there we go. Great. Okay, we all like a post that, you know, saying, oh, I saw it, but there's more that needs to be done, and we're at a crisis level with a lot of these animals, and it can't happen. We can't allow it to happen. So I think Gina's point is very valid, and thank you for being here with us this evening, and I look forward to seeing you inside. And another amazing local animal activist that we're pleased to have here this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gina. We'll see you inside. And we have the founder of I Stand With My Pack here, Alex Schiffer, and we have fiance.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Nicholas. Public announcement, and they are here this evening. And Alex, can you tell us a bit about I Stand With My Pack's work with VetPaw, what attracted you to them, and how you got involved with rhino protection?
Well, first of all, we're helping veterans. What's better than helping veterans in doing anything what they're doing? So, and another thing is helping rhinos at the same time, and just stopping extinction if we can. So we thought that the best idea would be to invest our time and ideas and money and everything into helping VetPaw protect these last remaining rhinos. This orphanage that we're protecting tonight, it might be the last 12 rhinos that are going to be alive in this year. So they have 1 year and until they're gone forever, which is a disaster for everybody, specifically people, because as we extinct all the key species, eventually we're going to extinct as well. So.
Right, we're going to collapse. So can you tell people about what's going on? I know you mentioned the orphanages. Orphans are in danger now, too. Wildlife orphanages. Is that true? They've been under attack because they haven't been protected by organizations like VetPaw?
Yes, that's very correct. They are Unfortunately, they poached their mothers, and now they're getting into these orphanages and actually raping people as well, beating people, using violence, and also, of course, killing our precious rhinos, and they're killing these babies. These babies don't even have their horns like grown as the adult would have, and they're still going for that because, as you know, the price of rhino horn is $54,000 per kilo, which makes it on the top scale together with cocaine. So
that's absolutely insane.
It's absolutely insane, and that's why it costs a lot of money also to protect them. But it's something that we absolutely need to do.
So that's imperative. What Alex just said, they're going in and they're attacking people, but promoting the protection of wildlife along with the employment of United States veterans. That's why we're here this evening. That's what I Stand With My Pack is doing here. And so there's an Animal Icon Award that's going to be awarded this evening too. Can you tell us a bit about, we've seen Mark Ching and also Donovan Smith here, and there's another award recipient. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct. So Mark Ching, Donovan Smith, and another recipient is going to be Paul Hilton. He just came from Jakarta yesterday. Wow. Yeah, he flew, and I think Ryan from VetPaw flew from South Africa. These people are serious about what they're doing. They're very invested in protecting wildlife and making this planet a better place for all of us. And we're absolutely honored to have these three recipients. These are pioneers in animal welfare movement, and these are people that are pushing this movement further. So we want to help them, and we want to award them for the great deeds that they are doing.
That's great. So what can people that are watching who weren't able to attend this wonderful event here this evening, what can they do to help I Stand With My Pack, help rhinos and VetPaws, or organizations like VetPaw? How can they get involved?
Well, the best is really to get a certain knowledge about it. So get educated, understand that they don't have more than a year. They're going to be extinct. And also we have maybe 3 more years for elephants left, which is such a more humans and less animals. It's actually a scary world to live in. And you can check our website, istandwithmypack.org. We worked with many other animals. We're saving a lot of different species. We're involved with protection of horses. We want to stop the horse slaughter. With rhinos, we're helping VetPaw, and we also are taking dogs out of shelters, those that are on the list to be euthanized, and training them to be anti-poaching dogs. We're starting that program right now, and also, there's an idea to create a fund for fallen rangers. So this is all involved with Unity for Rhinos. Then we have a Unity for Horses that I mentioned. We work with ASPCA. We dogging for against dolphin slaughter. I mean, a lot of things. Everything is happening right now, and time is now to actually push this movement forward and make a real change that is so much necessary.
So the world needs a lot of help in general. I'm proud to be part of, and we're doing some amazing work this evening here for rhinos. And again, our founder, Alex Schiffer. You guys look amazing, by the way, and we're so happy we're going to be streaming the event inside, so everyone can check out I Stand With My Pack's social media to see the event. Is that true, or to find pictures, or?
No, we were not able to actually stream live because of discretion of some of our guests. We're not able to film, but we're going to definitely make videos, and you can check them out and join the organization, join the movement. Everybody can do just a little bit if they start from themselves. I suggest that everybody goes vegan, because that's our future, and that's how we're going to really save the planet, by leading an example. And it's such a little thing that everybody really can do. I mean, Nicholas became vegan in a month.
That's incredible. And people think that's a difficult thing to do, right? And it's like going to change your whole life, and it's going to be a mess. Now, how did that happen for you?
Well, food tastes better immediately, so it's not that hard. Once you make the first decision to give it a try, you'll realize that actually food tastes better, and you feel better, you feel lighter. I lost 15 pounds like overnight, and I've never been happier. And it's I sympathize with people who are in the middle part of the country. It can be difficult, but with lots of other being able to shop online and through apps and stuff, there's plenty of solutions to get vegetarian dishes sent to you to your home with recipes and things like that. So just a little bit of effort and a little bit of planning, and you can help have a great impact on the world. And so it feels good to not have any of that hormones or stress in your system. So no meat has been a tremendous improvement in my life personally, and I recommend it to anybody.
That's brilliant, and I love that you mentioned how easy it is and all the online resources. So go vegan, everyone, if you're not, who's watching, and thank you so much to I Stand With My PAC's founder, and thank you to you both, and we look forward to learning more about the event. I obviously, we have some high-profile guests inside and their legal ramifications with filming, but please check social media to find out more about the event. You can see some pictures of the award recipients.
Check KNEKT as well. We're on KNEKT. And you can check our videos over there. KNEKT is also doing a lot of things with other organizations and animal welfare organizations, so check them out.
And the Animal Babe on Instagram. That's how you can get all of Alex's most recent activities.
I stand with my pack, yes. Yeah. That would be
even better.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you both. Thank you. So, we're headed into the event soon. We have one more incredible guest, and you were here for Mark Ching's event, correct? The panel, and you are a local animal activist and an attorney. Would you tell everyone who you are and a bit about why you're passionate about rhinos?
Oh, God. I'm an animal rights attorney. I have been for about 17 years. You could find me at animalattorney.com. Why am I passionate about rhinos? Oh, my God. Gentle giants. Gentle giants. And I guess it extends to all animals for me. I don't see a difference between the peacocks and a rat and just any other animal that's around that is just deserving to be free of pain and suffering. And that's really what it is for me. It's about it's not even animal rights. It's let a living being be.
Sure.
Let them be free of pain and suffering. Let them enjoy a life and a family than any other species would like.
Absolutely, and we're all connected through life. And so I think you brought up a really good point that there needs to be a respect for all life. And so that's something that human beings seem to have a little difficulty with, whether it's relating to each other or, as you said, a rat or a peacock and rhino, and recognizing this is an animal that wants to preserve its life. So I'm sure as an attorney, you deal with looking into these issues quite a bit.
Right. And it's interesting because a lot of people don't extend their empathy until it impacts them directly. So I get a lot of people that are, help me, my dog's about to be killed. I step in and, of course, I introduce them to veganism and all these things. And it's the first time that they think about and consider their own animal as perhaps even like a segue into, wow, this animal is not that different than a pig, or, oftentimes they're like, oh, sure, we'll take on a vegan diet for a discount.
Sure.
And they don't realize, but I think when they stop eating meat, people start opening their mind up to perhaps blocks that might be there while they're eating meat.
Right.
You have more of, I guess, a curtain while you're eating meat because you're blocking out what you're eating. But then when you stop eating meat, I think your circle of compassion extends more.
Right. The being that you were eating as a living conscious being that wanted to preserve their life. So are you vegan as well?
I'm vegetarian.
Excellent.
Yes, I am. So yes, we're living with an animal rights attorney for the past 10 years. Yeah, I turned vegetarian.
Well, the funny thing is that it wasn't even me. Yeah. He was talking to some guy in a car.
Yeah, it's funny. I was at an event and I went out with an Indian friend of mine. He was a young guy who was over here raising money for his business, and we went to a Mexican restaurant. And at the time, I was having a chicken burrito, and he was having a vegetarian burrito. And he said to me, he said, Jerry, he says, you know why I'm vegetarian? I says, no. He says, because when in a slaughterhouse, animals are getting slaughtered, he said, like cows, pigs, chickens, they're all standing beside each other, and they can see the fear in each other's eyes, and they let go of these hormones, which goes throughout their body. and the fear and anguish and, you know, everything that goes through them. And that was it. That was the last time I ate, and that was a few years ago, and I just never ever ate meat again. And I was like, I really thought about it, you know. I was like, oh my God, that's just, and I just, like Christine said, every animal has the right to life. Like, who are we to take their life?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's so now the two of us are working on our dream. Christine is an animal rights attorney, and we're combining our passions. Mine is fashion and festivals to build an animal sanctuary. Beautiful. So we've been slowly but surely building it to a fashion brand. We have sonusdenim.com.
And it's a vegan brand.
It's a vegan brand, yeah. No leather, no feather, no silk, no wool, and we donate to animal welfare, and our goal is to build her dream is her sanctuary. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Yeah.
So Sonus Denim, and that's a vegan line here in Los Angeles. So what is your website?
It's Sonus, SONASDENIM.com.
Help each other make the world a better place, and all of our yeah. I know. Good. Thank you both. Thank you. Hi, welcome. So thank you for being here with us this evening. Can you tell the viewers who are watching how you got passionate about rhinos and who you are?
Yes, I'm Jean Mack, and I'm an actress, musician, and also a philanthropist. I run a foundation called Defending the Endangered. We work with rhinos, elephants, lions, tigers, leopards, cheetahs, every endangered animal. Basically, we had our first event in March, and Neil worked with us. Yeah. And so we are always happy to support anyone who's working to save rhinos. That's one of our first and foremost concerns right now, because the rhinos need the most help. So we're here to support, and we're happy to support.
Thank you so much for being here with us this evening. So for people that aren't aware, I know we've had a lot of people come on, such as Ryan Tate from VetPaw, say how the illegal wildlife trade, the horns are connected to terrorism. So, and I know a lot of people, they don't really resonate with rhinos because they may have never seen one. And this is a life-size rhino behind us. So what would you tell these people who are watching who maybe don't feel a connection to rhinos, why it's so important to protect them?
Well, first of all, to me, they are prehistoric. I mean, they are the closest thing we have to a dinosaur besides crocodiles right now. Sure. They are part of our history. They've been here for millions of years. They're docile, beautiful creatures that hurt no one, and they only ask to live. And to me, it's a travesty that we could lose these. And they're majestic. They're beautiful, gorgeous creatures. As we see, gentle giants like elephants. We could lose them in the next 10 years. Realistically, we could lose them. Horrible. To me, our grandchildren, our children, to have a world without this, it's beyond sad, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to just see them in a book, in pictures. Sure. I want us to know this is part of our ecosystem, it's part of our planet. They're an important part of our planet, and everything that's here, even if it's not in our own backyard, is up to us to protect because it's part of our earth.
Yep, and that's an incredible point that was made, that we all need to stand together. What happens in Africa affects people in the United States, North America, South America, Asia. We're all interconnected. So thank you so much for making a strong stand for wildlife. Thank you both so much for being here this evening, and we look forward to hearing more. Now, if people want to learn about the work you do, how can we find out more about that?
Yes, well, they can go to our website, defendingtheendangered.com. We also have a Facebook page and a Twitter. So just look us up. You can see all the work we're doing. And yeah, please say hello. We're happy to help anyone in need. That's our goal, just to help as many as we can.
Thank you so much for being here, and another couple incredible activists, and we'll see you inside. Thank you so much. Thank you both. So as you all can see, there are some absolutely amazing activists here this evening, and we're so pleased to have them all. Again, I was wrong, but thank goodness Alexandra Schiffer from I Stand With My Pack informed me. Apparently we have some high-profile guests here this evening. We will not be filming the event, but you can look at KNEKT.live to rewatch this, see some of the special guests we have, and also look at I Stand With My Pack and KNEKT's social media to see more. Again, we have Mark Ching of Animal Hope and Wellness. We have Paul Hilton, who's come in all the way from Indonesia. And we also have Donovan Smith, who came in from Florida, Ryan Tate and the guys from VetPaw coming in from Johannesburg. They're protecting South African wildlife, where 70% of rhinos that are wild live today. And we're excited to have everyone participate in this evening's event to raise some much needed funds to protect the last of these highly critically endangered species. Again, my name is Taryn LaRock with KNEKT.live, and thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.